Who wants to do the intro?
You do it.
Yes, this is just your idea.
This isn't my idea.
Yes, it was.
Literally your idea.
It was.
It's a collective idea.
Exactly.
I feel like you're better at doing intro type shit, so you do it.
Okay, what is up, everybody? It is TMT. We're out of order, though, so from your perspective, it's either TTM or MTT, and I am supposed to be the last T because you saved the best for last. Obviously, it is TC, Tyler Farringle, and the one and only Marquise, and today we're going to be bringing you the first episode of whatever this is going to be called. I mean, we just came up with this. It is going to be so fantastic. It's a variety show. The three of us, we're going to be talking about everything. Today's topic is going to be idiosyncrasies. If you don't know what that means, that's just pet peeves, things we don't like, you know, like hangnails, that kind of thing. The sound of chalkboards. I mean, oh my God, those are the worst. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my buddy Tyler, since he has one that he's just been itching to talk about.
Well, you kind of kick-started it right away. I can't even tell you how many times I get up from my spot at work and go to...
What was that?
What do you mean?
Speak louder, come on.
I can't even tell you how many times I get up from my desk at work and go to my... I work with my parents, if you guys don't know. I can't tell you how many times I go from my desk to my dad's desk to grab his clippers and clip off those damn hangnails. Like, I hate when they're uneven, when their skin just, like, looking to, like, grow and you know, do the weird thing it does. I go up there 5 to 10 times every day and clip those off. I hate when they're uneven. I hate when they're, like, looking like something's gonna happen. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about.
I think I'm kind of weird because I hate for them to be there, and like I know how much it sucks when it like goes terribly bad and you like rip it
that's why
all the way back and it just like it gets worse and it gets worse. Yeah, but for some reason I hate to have them there, but I learned a little trick. Like if you like pull it towards you, it'll kind of break off if you do that.
I still don't want to do that because
sometimes
you learn the hard way. You learn the hard way when you rip it off. You're like,
and it's like I learn my lesson every single time, but I still continue to do it because like
I gotta have those
I
clippers.
just gotta get them off. But if I have clippers or if I'm at home, I'll be like, let me get clippers in there.
Oh yeah,
no, those are the lifesaver. For me, clippers never do it either. It's like because it's like playing with it almost, because it will cut it, but then it won't get it at the very base. So then you got that little flippy bit, and then you know you go through your whole day, doesn't touch anything. You know you don't even realize it's there. But then you like go to take off a jacket or something like that. Maybe you go to pull your sock up, and it just drags on something, and it hurts. I
know exactly
bad.
What you're talking about.
I have no idea why, but it's like
it's the little things you don't
leave
realize.
It there, or I try to like the way that I do it is I pull it up and like kind of towards somewhere else. So like I'll go up and like
that
to
makes
the left.
Sense. Yeah, I do that a little bit too.
And I kind of use my other thumb as a way to kind of like hold it down. But that's how I kind of get those short ones sometimes too. So there's really not a good way to do it.
But you know what I noticed, and I had this conversation with, I think it was my brother or my mom, but I was like, why does it feel like every time you hurt a certain part of your body, you somehow end up hitting that particular spot on your body on something?
Of course.
If you got like kicked in the shin and like you got a bruise, I guarantee you're gonna jump out of bed or like get in a chair or pull out a chair or something, and it's gonna hit not only in your shin, but it's gonna hit in that direct spot that's already hurting. I feel like that always happens.
Yeah, exactly. Or you just recently hurt something and then you got to use it all day. Like I remember one time I hurt my shoulder like in baseball, and then like the very next day we were like doing the pull-up thing for school, and I was just like, how am I supposed to do pull-ups right now? Like, I mean, look at these arms. I'm already at a disadvantage over everybody else, okay?
Did you have to do the pull-ups?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I didn't go to the doctor and be like, oh, I got hurt. I was going to the doctor later that day because it was just like soreness. It wasn't like I needed immediate medical attention. But like when I was doing the pull-ups, I was like, oh, this sucks. And I had to do 10 or 12 pull-ups, I don't remember, in order to actually pass. So I had to do 12 pull-ups.
That sucks.
And it was like, what the heck? That
I
hurt.
know that shit hurt. I got a story kind
Marquise
of
probably
like
did
that.
like 10 times 12 the amount of pull-ups because
Yeah.
that guy is he's a gymnast. If you guys don't know, man, this guy is strong. He is amazing.
No.
Does a backflip.
I do okay.
Just for the heck of it. Walking handstand, backwards walking as well.
Yeah.
Only when they ask. Only when they ask.
We didn't ask. We looked up and this dude's just freaking doing it.
The backflip was
like,
axed.
The
guy
backflip, okay, but the walking handstand, that was
It made for a good shot. It made for a good shot. We put it in one of our films.
And, like, honestly, I almost didn't get it. If I'm being dead ass, I almost completely forgot.
It was in our blooper reel.
You can go check out our Into the Shadows on YouTube. It's in the blooper reel, but I almost missed out on that, and that almost was for nothing. So
it made for a good one.
You know,
Wasn't it in the in the shadows? I thought you said
yeah.
But back to what you were saying, I kind of have a story like that when you hurt that part of your hand, but you had to use your hands that day. What's almost worse than like pulling the hangnails too far back is when you try to break your nail off or like rip your nail off or bite it off or whichever one you do, and it goes like too far back and it just starts to like bleed or just like that. And you can't put it back. So then you just got to clip it from that point, but it already hurts in that one spot. I did my whole nail like that once and I had to play guitar.
Ooh. Relatable though. I always clip my nails. I always clip my nails too short. Like I don't bite my nails, thankfully. I clip my nails always too short, and there's always that point in the middle where like it hurts, and you know you clip it too short, and you kind of have to go around as well because it's gonna look weird if you leave like.
I learned a tactic to try to like. I learned a tactic when I'm trimming my nails, like how to avoid that. I always cut like a diagonal, and then a diagonal, and then like my nail will come to like a sharp point.
That's kind of how I do it
that
too.
point, and then there'll be like two other little corners, and you just clip them off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then if it's like straight,
because then
you're gonna have the middle be short.
Clip in circles, and it's just easier to just.
Yeah. You really shouldn't do that, but you know, I just had another one and I forgot it. I'm not even gonna lie. Yes. Okay, this is what it was. Okay, the thing that really grinds my gears though. My biggest idiosyncrasy, shout out to Miss Darrow, I hope you're doing okay. My junior year high school English teacher. You're the only teacher that ever gave me 100% on a writing project, and you were definitely the hardest teacher to get an A on, so I'm proud of that. But anyway, my biggest pet peeve is like, what the heck happens to socks in the like washing process? Like, I mean, just socks in general. What the heck happens to socks? Because I was looking to wear a pair of matching White Sox socks with my White Sox outfit over here. And I went to go put them on. And, you know, right by the heel, there's a hole in it. And the other one, it's worn down to the last layer before there's a hole in it. I have a pair of Batman socks that I'm missing the matching sock for the pair, and that's like for six of my socks.
I will say it is
like
pretty heartbreaking. It is pretty heartbreaking when your one of your like favorite pair of socks or like the comfy pair, like they start to get a hole in it, and you try not to accept it, and you still wear it because the hole is small, but eventually you know it'll like get to the point where you got to be like, I gotta let him go.
And like Marquise, you know how much I like to flex my socks.
Like,
look at
his sock game. His sock game is unmatched.
I wasn't able to get my White Sox socks, and I didn't really have a great alternative. So I was like, you know, America's pastime. Why not throw together some red, white, and blue socks?
That makes sense.
You know, that goes with it a little bit. And then I got my Pia flyers on with it, quote unquote,
with the laces tied around the entire shoe too.
Exactly.
He's got it all. He's got it all down.
But like the sock game, I love a good sock game, bro. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's a subtle thing that just like, oh hey, look at that, you know. Especially because we're getting into the summer, those shorts are gonna be coming out. You don't want to be wearing those long tube white socks all the way up to the middle of your ankle. If you're gonna be wearing any sock up to your ankle, you might as well make it one that's nice, you know? Something that, you know, covers that nasty leg hair that you could be proud of, you know? Because those ladies, they don't want to see your nasty ass leg hair, let's be real. You know, I mean, unless you're swimming,
I mean,
It's
sorry, I'm
it has
wearing
to happen.
shorts today on a rainy and like 50-something degree day. No
You are
offense,
crazy.
but
Can't do it.
Hey, Tyler,
I'm gonna wear
I
shorts.
mean, you don't have the ridiculous leg hair though.
I mean, I kind of do.
If
It's just
mine is
certain
pretty bad.
spots.
Yours is moderate. You know, it's there, but it's not like, oh my god. You know,
I
I can
can't-
see
it's
a
not
good
like
part of
it's
your
not like
leg
I'm a
still.
Godzilla or anything.
But I
Exactly.
can't wear the long socks in like the summer. Like when it's hot out, I have to wear ankle socks. But since we are on the topic of like pet peeves, the worst thing is when you put on a ankle sock and then you leave the house and you don't realize, one, how small it is,
Yeah.
two, how slippery it is. So the whole day you're walking around like your sock is just slowly slipping and coming
Oh,
off
I
inside your
hate
shoe.
that.
And you gotta do like the finger hook to like
Oh, dude!
try to pull it
Oh
up
my
just for it to
god!
do it
I wear
again.
ankle socks too,
Oh my
and
god, I do that all the
That's
time.
why
I
I
actually
can't
like
fold.
am so glad that you admitted that because I do that so many times. I'm like, am I the only one that does this?
I
No,
forgot about
no,
that, dude.
no.
All right,
I had
good.
forgotten about that problem until you brought it up. Because I used to wear ankle socks all the time too. I'm like, it's too hot, whatever. But then, you know, I was a really active kid. And, you know, I'm still a pretty active adult. Like, if I go to Starved Rock, you know, a national park here in Illinois, then I'm definitely running around and stuff. And, like, with the way animals are and insects are, you know, it's nice to have everything covered. And, you know, with all that running, and especially if you were playing, like, football or basketball,
Yeah.
you know, with those lower socks, those are just getting eaten into your middle of your foot for some reason. And I hate that feeling more than anything else. Like, I'm one of those people that's like, I like evenness. Like if I'm lying on my bed can't be like wrinkled underneath me. I can't be like sleeping on
That's
part of
funny.
my blanket that's like, you know, just a little ball underneath me. Because like what the heck
Yeah,
is that?
yeah.
You know? Like I'm supposed to be in a comfortable position, but I got this weird lump just right there. You know, because, yeah, it might be soft, but if it's pressing against your ribs, I guarantee you, even if it's a little cuddly bunny, it still hurts, still uncomfortable.
You know what I just thought about when you were talking about socks? There's probably one thing that's more annoying than when it like slips off your foot. I can say this with so much passion in my heart
Oh, my God.
because I work outside. If you have ever been anywhere with wet socks inside of your shoe, you
That's
know
the
the
worst.
pain I'm talking about. And it's not pain because it's painful. It's pain because it's such a level of like uncomfort that you just can't not think about it, and every step is like a squish, and it's just, and then taking them off is just even more terrible.
Yeah.
Don't-
Dude, it's like
gives me bad flashbacks.
it's like you didn't even know your feet could smell that bad, could look that disgusting, and it's just like
Your sock is
you
probably
you
ruined
almost
'cause
don't
it's, like,
even
brown.
realize it. Well, when you first have it happen, you realize it, but then you get halfway through your day and you're like, you don't even know your sock's wet until you get home. You take
Yeah,
your shoe
that's-
off,
yeah.
and then you're stepping on your hardwood floor, and you look back where you were stepping, and you're just like,
Mhm.
what the fuck?
And then it's also
that's
weird to dry
annoying.
off your feet too, because it's like it's a weird part of your body, or
Yeah,
like,
the body
you gotta have it
temperature with
dry.
feet is weird because
Yeah.
like your feet can sweat but also be cold,
and your
it's like,
socks.
what the
and
hell?
when it's hot, your socks get like really like sticky, and then your
Mhm.
feet, the material of the socks gets on your feet, and then that's awkward too.
Honestly, you know, this isn't a pet peeve, but it like kind of is. That's kind of why I'm like, women got it so good with like dress shoes. Like, think about your dress shoe. That's got no breathing in it
Slip-ons.
at all. Even if it is a slip-on, bro, like it's like even a moccasin, whatever, you're still enclosed completely, and there's like maybe a hole in it a little
Question.
bit. But like even these boat shoes that I have, they're like just a closed leather shoe.
Do you wear like regular socks when you wear dress shoes?
No.
Okay, I was gonna
got-
say you gotta wear like the dress socks.
I mean,
for,
even
like,
when
dress
you
shoes.
do wear a
Argyle.
thinner
Yeah,
sock,
yeah.
it's
Like the thin,
it's still not the
silky
same.
ones. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what I don't know, but even when you do wear that, it's still the same thing
Mhm.
because that only delays it really.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
kind of feels like
okay,
you're sliding around in your shoe sometimes. too.
exactly, and that's the other thing. That's why I
Like
don't
your
wear
shoe has to be a good fit
that
when you wear
specific
those.
sock. I have to wear like just a really thin regular sock.
I
is what
actually
do.
find dress socks really uncomfortable. I just hate I hate formal wear because like I can do it, but formal wear is just so like I feel so constrained. Like formal wear is always like I don't know. It's just I
Dude,
hate the way it
what?
feels in general.
You're
I
used
don't-
to
Like
normal clothes.
I
you're
like
not- yeah.
yeah, I like the kind of like feeling of being in dress clothes, but I don't like the physical feeling of like being in dress clothes. Does that
Dude,
make
what?
sense?
No.
Like if I'm in dress clothes, like I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, hell yeah, like I look good. I love this outfit. I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
glad to be wearing it.
Oh yeah.
But
same.
in terms of like actual physical touch, like I don't know why it's just everything is so tight and so like fitted that sometimes after a while I'm like I want to get out of these dress
See,
clothes.
maybe
Put
it's
on some
because
sweatpants and a hoodie.
I mean, you see what I look like right now. I mean, maybe it's just because it's
And
the
that's
way
the type of shit I want to wear.
that my normal clothes are, where it's just like so uneventful and just, you know, like it is what it is almost, you know. But like when I get formal clothes, they're like nice. Like that's maybe it's just because I'm Italian. My mom, like my mom. Let me put it for you this way, okay? I think the way what my mom has in her closet sums up like my family in a nutshell. You know, she has 100 and something odd dresses.
I remember you telling me.
She
about
like
that.
120,
Yeah.
160 dresses. I don't
Holy
remember the
cow.
exact number, but I just sit there and I think, how the hell does she have those? But then I think about my suits and my stuff like that, and I wear a suit for any excuse. Job interview, I'm wearing a suit. Even if I don't have to, I'm pulling it off. You know, we went to an interview together, me and Marquise.
We
I was
did.
wearing a suit.
You were
Definitely
a
didn't
full
need to
suit.
be. Like, yeah, full suit, nice thing. But the thing is I like the way, like, the socks feel. They're one of my nicer pairs of shoes, so they got those good inserts already in them. And it's really soft. It feels like I'm gliding around on, you know, carpet. These freaking Converse, you know, it's just a flat bottom sole shoe with no support at all for your body. So you go home feeling like shit. But these shoes, yeah, they make your feet sweat like a dog, but they got that nice comfy stuff in there. They're arched pretty nice. They give me 2 more inches, which a guy being 5'10", I really like those extra 2 inches. Really benefits me as a small Italian man. But the biggest thing about it is that everything that I got on my upper body, you know, I usually wear the better pair of underwear too that helps the boys breathe really nicely. Everything like that is involved with the suit. So it's like I got a nice breathable top on. I could take this jacket off and get like that, you know, 70, 80 degree weather and be cool with it. You know, 90 degrees, it's a little too much. But other than that, it like the suit's just like, oh, I could go to, I would go to the grocery store in a suit. And that's why I feel like I grew up in the wrong time in some ways. Because
I say
it's
that
like,
too.
you know,
sometimes.
I like older music, and I would wear a suit every day if I could. But I only got 2 suits, and I gotta save them for special occasions.
I always said I would want to be this age in the early 2000s, and also because I was alive during the early 2000s, but like I was a kid. But I would want to be this age I am now, my mid-20s, in the early 2000s and the 80s, more than anything, because those are my 2 favorite eras. The 90s too. I mean, just that whole 3-decade span, I would want to just not age for like all 30 of those years, just so I can see what it was like. Man.
Tyler, what about you? Let's hear something else. I mean, we got all these ideas going.
I mean,
You ain't got anything?
I know you do, because I got one that happened to me today.
All right, go. Let
course.
Tyler think.
I can't think right now, of course.
I would say when I'm about to embarrass myself and expose myself a little bit. I have a bad habit of like turning corners or turning into rooms too early, and like my shoulder will bump into the wall or just bump into like the door frame, because I won't time it right because I'll be moving too fast or something, and I'll bump into the wall. But nothing is worse than when you're walking and something you're wearing gets caught on the doorknob. And my doorknob at home is like the ones that come out and then go that way. So like when it catches, it'll slide like all the way in.
Yeah, and then you gotta
So like I'm like really stuck. And like sometimes I'll like try not to accept defeat, and I'll just like wiggle it and try to like get it off, and then it just won't work, and I just got to take the 3 steps back of disappointment and get it off and re-walk back in my room.
Dude, that is the worst shit.
Oh my
ever.
God.
Like, it's not even something that you do often, and it's really one of the most minor inconveniences ever, but you might as well have gotten kicked in the balls when it happens. Like, it is literally the worst thing that happens.
Ooh, I got a question.
What?
I got a question, and
Oh,
I
God.
feel like it's a good one.
Shit.
Would you rather get hit really hard in your elbow, your shin, or in between your toes?
In between my toes, just
Toes.
because my left elbow's already kind of messed up. My knees are not good, so I'm definitely not taking anything involving my legs into this equation. You know, in between my toes haven't been hurt since I played football.
I think
in
I'm gonna
junior
have
high.
to go with elbow.
That's the only place I've ever
Yeah.
broken anything was my pinky
and I don't
toe.
mean like hit hard enough to like actually break or
I don't know.
sprain
You don't know
anything,
how
but,
much of a
like,
wuss my body is.
Yeah, I remember I was getting out of my bed, and like I had the metal bed frame. I didn't have like the bottom part that covers that part usually on, but yeah, the metal bed frame. I slid. I got off of my bed, but my second leg like slid down, and as my foot came down, just say this is the metal with all like my leg came down, and my toe, it was in between my pinky toe, and it just went whoosh. And I cut all of this open, and I was just leaking blood. It was probably the worst time of my life. I literally couldn't walk.
I would definitely say toes though, because like your elbow is so sensitive. Like you have that it's just that spot. Like I know it's right around your funny bone where it just like tingles and it feels really weird. And then your shin, and that's such a sensitive spot too, because the bone is so like it's so thin, it goes up, but you can hit it in like a very precise way, and then it'll hurt like hell too. But I think
You know what pain I forgot all about simply because it has not happened in so long since I was a kid. If any of you were ever skateboarders,
no,
Just a
bikers,
little bit.
or runners, or
was
just
definitely a
genuinely
runner.
any kid that used to play outside,
Oh,
I
yeah.
played outside every
Yeah.
day, bro.
for sure.
carpet burns hurt.
Oh, they do. They very
But
most do.
concrete burns,
Oh,
when
dude.
you fall and your skin
Dude.
scrapes against the
Ugh.
concrete, and it's like
Ugh.
this hot but stinging pain, and it's just like
I'm just kind of protecting my knee right now because
Yeah.
that's of course like
'Cause
the
it's like
number
a-
one
I
area.
got
it's a
it.
And you got
reflex.
like the biggest scabs, the most uneven looking scabs too.
this your
That'll take
knees and
forever
your elbows.
to form and go away.
So look at how little this cut is on my finger. Okay, that little baby thing. That happened to me 2 days. What day is it? Wednesday? 3 days ago now. At my girl's place, I was changing the tire for one of her friends for her, and I was, 90% of the way done tightening down the tire, taking it off. I had successfully managed not to hurt myself. I'm going to put it all together, and guess what happens? My freaking finger on one of the last few turns just going down hard on it now. I cut right on the curb, on the concrete, and nothing happened originally. I got the burn part of it. So it just hurt. There was no cut. There was no, it was dark. There was definitely a cut, but I didn't see it. So I hurt myself. There was no obvious blood or anything. I go into the
Yeah.
house, and it's like bleeding. It's running down my finger, and it burns so bad. Like, and it's just a little baby thing. It's not as bad as a paper cut, but it's still horrible.
Yeah, I think the conclusion I'm coming to is like it's so inconvenient when you hurt your hand in any way because you got to move them and use them for like so much stuff, and like especially when you get it hurt, like because I used to, like he said, I'm glad you brought that up, because like when I was a gymnast, sometimes we would rip because like the friction of us like
Oh, and you get
swinging on
like the
things
burns in
and
your
our
hands.
it's
Oh.
actually our calluses. Like
Oh,
I had
yeah.
both of my calluses ripped
Ugh.
off. Like it was literally shaped like this. Like all of this skin right here was gone. Like all
Oh
of
my
this
God.
this whole area just
That
disappeared.
sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks.
And it was terrible.
It's not like the actual hand, but
Because then you got to go to school and like write and I'm right-handed. It was terrible.
oh yeah. Speaking of writing in school, 7th grade we were doing a basketball drill in gym class, and we did like the basic move where you're dribbling and you go from left to right. And I remember doing like the dribbling drill, and you ever have that feeling when you like try to catch a football and you just like jam the hell out of your finger? Well, when I made that move from going left to right, my finger, instead of going back and jamming all the way, it went forward. And I didn't jam my finger, I broke that sucker. And it felt 10 times worse than a jam finger, I'll tell you that right now.
I bet it did.
And the worst part about it was, I had a splint on there. And instead of in school when you write like this, I had to keep my hand on like a surface like this, because it's, you know, the rough edge and the splint.
Yeah,
so my handwriting sucked for like a month or two, and I had to wear a plastic bag over my entire hand when I took a shower.
When you jam your finger, you just have to like ice it, and that's it. But
it sucks.
Terrible.
It sucks, and it was like just, 10 times more swollen too than the couple times I jammed.
I will say though, every single time that I've jammed my finger, I thought it was broken.
Yeah.
Like every time you jam your finger, and you know you do the thing where you like grab it, and then you just like.
It's weird too, because junior year in high school, we were just throwing the football around like a normal recess as like an elementary school kid. I go to catch a football, I jam my thumb, and of course it was like the day, I think it was like either the day of or the day before I had a tennis meet. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me, because of course I'm right-handed. I can't grip my racket the normal way with my thumb being like that. So now it's fine, nothing really happened. I jammed it, but now I'm addicted to cracking my knuckles. The joint is like so misplaced that I can just crack it over and over again. And I don't feel anything.
That's your party trick.
It doesn't hurt, but like the joint is so messed up now that like I can just crack it over and over and over and over again. It's so weird.
I need to be able to like fully, well maybe I'll be able to do it because I can fully extend, but
you can't extend it all the way? Or wind up all the way?
Like the size of the car and stuff is what I'm saying.
Okay. I hear it. I
don't know if you guys can hear it, but I hear it.
Oh, man.
That sounds painful, but it's not.
It's not.
Do it.
But it's just like, that's why I don't play baseball anymore. My shoulder, I did so much therapy. Like, I mean, I tried standing up straight for so long. Like, it was mainly, they were like, your posture's bad, fix that. And I did. I fixed my posture. I did my like stretches and everything like that. I worked on it really hard, and it just never went away. Every time I started trying to throw really hard, like, you know, trying to break that like 75, you know, like it would get really bad. So I was basically just throwing like, you know.
Yeah, a lot of baseball players tend to have like elbow, wrist, and shoulder stuff that going on with them.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of parents, like, they don't really realize how involved you kind of got to be with like your kids' health like that. Because like, it's one thing, you know, if they're not trying to compete at that upper level, but you know, when you got a kid who's trying to build up really nicely, you got to be able to give them a little bit of, you know, construction with that, and be able to make sure that they're doing the right things, and that, you know, they're building in the right way. You can't just assume that they are. You know, you gotta kind of be on top of that a little bit, especially, you know, with a guy that's going from like 13 to 14 years old and kind of, you know, starting to lift weights now. You know, you gotta make sure that they're doing it in a way that actually benefits the child and doesn't just turn them into a glamour muscle kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I would definitely say while I was doing gymnastics, I think my back pain would not be as bad as it is today if I was getting like chiropractors, because I remember I went to the chiropractor a couple years later for the first time. This was way after high school. But then this young kid came in and he was like high school age, and I think he was a wrestler, or like, I think he did track or something like that, just based off of how he was dressed. But then me and my mom looked at each other and she was like, man, I wish I knew about this place, because it would have been nice if we would have had you in it while you were in gymnastics, because we definitely need some sort of chiropractic or something. Ooh, that's a stressful sport.
Yeah. And, you know, that's the thing of it at the end of the day is idiosyncrasies can be something that you talk about for so long, but at the end of the day, you know, eventually the fun's got to end because we can all complain and everybody loves complaining. But, you know, this was supposed to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think we came to you for about 30 minutes with this one. And
Just about.
honestly, we were thinking about doing audio only with this, but I think we could do video. I don't think it'd be too bad. We got that new YouTube channel up and running.
Just even more content for you guys.
You know, we could post it right up on there for you, and then you'd be able to see our beautiful faces. Maybe we'll find a way to make it, you know, TMT for you guys instead of this TTM or MTT, whatever we got going for you right now. But we will be back. Let us know what you think about this. If you want to see more videos like this, like, subscribe, give us your feedback. If there's something that you like, something that you didn't like, any advice you guys could give would definitely benefit us. This is not our forte. Obviously, this is the first time we've done something like this. So make sure you let us know exactly how you feel. If you want to know when we're going to be posting new stuff, of course, we got the community tab on this page. But the one place you really got to go is our Instagram, _winnercircle_22. That's where we'll post all of our updates. We'll be in our stories. That's where you'll get updates about our shows for the Winner Circle and all of our other projects. So stay tuned, and we will see you next time.
See ya. I'm actually surprised you guys got me in front of a camera still.
Damn, yeah.
All right, see ya.
Tyler.
What?
The camera.
What do I do?